Okay, let's see if it's working now. Maybe. Maybe. There we go. Now we're back in business. Okay. All right. All right, everybody. Dr. Giggles here. We had a little technical difficulty. It seems it wouldn't publish to YouTube. Said my connection was crap, but now it's working. I mean, the kids are still sleeping, which is kind of funny. But hey, it is what it is. So today I didn't really have too much written down in terms of like news and stuff like that. I'm just going through checking, emails and news stuff that I do have, and we're gonna go over it that way. And we'll see what happens because there's a couple tidbits of news that have come up that I feel are really worthy of talk about, and then you guys can chime in with other stuff. I know like Jason in Paradise sent me some stuff about, and everybody knows about this. The Jersey Devil roller coaster. Somebody's flying drones over the parks, and they're what do you call it? They're getting footage out of the construction and moving along and all that stuff. And he said something, and it's something that I will talk about here for a second, because we all know about flying drones. Everybody loves it. Everybody thinks, hey, there's nothing that can be dangerous now because the parks are closed, and et cetera, et cetera. I'm not trying to be, the anti-drone police, because I have drones. I got two of them right over here. And I think what people need to realize that just because we're in this situation, we probably shouldn't be flying drones, period. I know if you drive along Main Street, that Six Flags New England's out, there's signs out front going down the street, on the sidewalks going, no drones, no drones, no drones. Now, I love good drone footage. There's something going on as the park's not sharing information. One, it's illegal. And I know it's stupid. It's like we should just fly our drones and do whatever the hell we want. Unless you got permission and you have the proper channels to do it, I would say not do it. I know from personal experience, we've gotten in trouble by the park years ago because of drones. And it's very frowned upon. People still do it, and I can't control what another person does. I'm not the police. I'm not gonna slap you on the butt like a parent. I'm not gonna sit there and I'm just saying, you got to watch out too, because what if you crash that drone while they're doing construction and you hurt somebody? That's on you. And I know we all want the information. We want to see it. And, it's nice to see that there's progression going on. So I'm not going to take it away from that. But just be careful for anybody flying drones. Reach out to the park. They might let you do it right now. You know what I mean? With all the negativity going around, I say reach out. Everybody that's an enthusiast, got a YouTube channel, has somewhat come in contact with the communications manager or some other kind of, manager in a park. I say reach out. They may let you do it right now because of what's going on. They may not. They might be like, dude, don't even do it. But I would ask first. Make sure you have all your ducks in a row, and then just ask. The answer is always no unless you ask. I mean, I'm not going to ask because I'm not going to drive over an hour to go fly a drone and potentially be in trouble. And I know that there's there's not a lot of people at the park. Everybody's at home. They got stay-at-home orders, so you should follow that. I know I sound like one of those, hey, don't do this, kind of like I'm your dad. I'm not. I'm just saying, just be careful. That's all I'm saying is be careful, because you don't want to get arrested. You don't want to get in trouble. and then all that work you've done for your channels or whatever you're doing goes right down the toilet because then you get a ban. You know, I've known people that get bans over stupid stuff that really did it warrant. Hey, what's up, Jason in Paradise? I mean, do you think, you know, I've seen people get banned for stuff that's really like get banned. I don't know. And then I've seen some serious stuff and people not get any trouble. So I just say, just be careful. Don't get in trouble. If you can do it, hey, do it. Hey, what's up, Coaster Fan 90? And that's my take on the whole Jersey Devil roller coaster drone footage stuff. I mean, it looks great. It's going to be a great coaster. I just say, just watch out. Don't get in trouble, man. Because if you do that, all that work's going to be for nothing. I mean, I know, like, YouTube's been cracking down on, you know, like that guy that was breaking into, you know, Volcano Bay. And if a park really wants to, they can strike the hell, fire, and rain on your ass for doing something illegal that they don't want out. You know, a lot of the parks, communications managers, marketing, and all that are working from home. So most likely you're not going to get that permission, but you could do it. But I would honestly reach out to the park. Maybe this person has permission. I don't know. I don't know the story. I don't know the behind of any of it. Just saying, be careful. Don't do anything stupid. And if you fly a drone, make sure that you can fly it and make sure you get a good one. Because I got 2 of them. I got them right here. Hang on, let me break them out. And then I'm going to tell you about the drones. Okay, here's one drone. I know I got to replace the blade on this, I think. This one, the blade's chipped, but I got like a whole bunch. I got all the stuff. And then I got, where is it? Ooh, $1. I love when I find $1. We're playing show and tell. Oh, this guy with the drone for Jersey Devil's been arrested. See, then just don't do it. There's no reason to do it. You're getting in trouble. All right, so which one is this? This is the Mavic 2 Zoom. This one right here. Right, it's small, but see, all right, if you see, there's all these, I don't know what you can see here, but if you see, these aren't cameras. These are sensors. This helps. Oh, yeah, that guy. But I don't think the Jersey Devil Coaster guy is the same. So this drone, you know, has sensors in the back. It's got a bunch of sensors in the front. This is for drones for idiots like me. Now on the top, it doesn't have any. Oh, it's got one little sensor thing on the back here. But for the most part, if you try to go up under a tree, it's going to hit the tree and fall. So stay away from trees and things that it can hit. You know what I'm saying? And then I have this. Which one? This is a small one. I don't remember which. Oh, Mavic Air. So I have the Mavic Air, and it's got not as many sensors. It's got 2 on the back. It's got some on the bottom. It's got some on, front, back, whatever this is. There's none on the top. So again, going up, you can hit things. Going around, it'll stop. I've literally tested this. I've tested both of these out, and it's never hit a person. I mean, I went, tons, way back and got this thing up to like 20 miles an hour. And within 5 to 10 feet, this thing just dead stops in front of a person, beeps, and will not go anywhere. I've done it with both of them. So having drones like these are better, than the old school ones that don't have all the, like the Phantoms and stuff that don't have the sensors on them. I don't know about the new Phantoms and stuff like that. They may or may not have sensors. I haven't, because those are like expensive. And these 2 drones, I mean, this one right here, the sick bastard that I am. Last year, my grandfather fell down. He died in February, but he had fallen down, broken his hip, and he was in a nursing home and stuff like that for a little while, like a month or so. So we were going over the house, cleaning it up, getting rid of stuff, because we figured, well, he's 90-something years old. He may or may not come back. They might make him live in assisted living forever. So the sick, and I got the footage, and I got to find it on my computer. I attached to this, I figured out how to do it without, making the sensors go off. I took some twine, some rope, and I hung a skeleton from it. A good sized skeleton, probably about this big, hanging on the rope, flying it over his house, flying it up and down the street, up in the sky, and people are stopping, going, "What the hell are you doing?" Like this. The people in the neighborhood of my grandfather's house. I grew up with a lot of these people as a kid. When I go over and visit, most of the neighborhood knows who I am, and they're like, "Josh, what are you doing? Why are you flying a skeleton over the neighborhood?" I'm like, "Well, because I saw something kind of like it. I came up with an idea and I wanted to see it." And they're laughing. They're watching this skeleton fly, and it's flying and flopping around, and it was funny. Who's to know? Maybe I cursed them, and that's what cursed them to, I don't know. I know sometimes I'm an evil person, but it was funny. But in the camera, because the way that the thing was moving around, you could see the skeleton. Hey, what's up, John? You could see the skeleton swaying around on the drone. It could literally pick the skeleton up and fly it around the neighborhood. I should probably do it again around here. It's kind of like cursing the neighborhood of a skeleton just flying high in the sky. It's funny. It's stupid. I know. It's like I'm a 5-year-old. But again, just be careful with the drones. Make sure you know what you're doing. Make sure you know how to fly one. Don't just fly over it thinking you're professional. You don't really fly it. So just don't be stupid. So we don't, if you're going to do it, like I said, go ask for permission. If you're not going to get the permission, just don't go against the rules because it's illegal. I mean, you have to go through a lot of baloney, especially parks that are near airports and, airfields and stuff like that. You have to be careful because you evil? Nah, just diabolical. Yeah, I probably am. So like I said, just be careful. Don't be stupid. Try to get the permission. If you've registered your drone, I haven't registered any of my drones. I don't really fly in places of warrant of need. Like usually when I'm flying it, I've flown it at my last house I lived at in the neighborhood. People would look to see what I'm doing, and they know I'm not trying to invade. I'm just flying it around. I do it at my parents' house because they have 10 acres of land. So I go and fly up, and I can see the Scituate Reservoir up in the sky from my parents' house. They live in Scituate, Rhode Island. That's where most of the people in Rhode Island get their drinking water from. So I could see it, and I've flown that thing out. I've let other people fly the drone just to see it. These two drones I have a almost idiot-proof. Except for when you're trying to go up. It can hit trees and stuff. But like I said, just be careful. Don't be stupid, and just have fun. But, again, get the permission. If you got insurance and stuff, the parks will work with you. Because before, about 3 years ago, New England was like, if you go through all the process, get your pilot's license, you have insurance, we can talk about it. They didn't go, yes, you can, but they needed to make sure I had everything legal. Because they're close to an airport. Lake Compounce is close to an airport. So you have to call and say, hey, we're going to fly this drone. I got the insurance, da-da-da-da-da. And then you can, as long as you let the airports and stuff know you're doing that, and the park knows. If you work with the park, you could do it. Parks love to get professional footage. If you're willing to give that service, maybe even free or very low cost, and if it's good, they'll let you do it. But you follow the rules. That's why I'm big and follow the rules. So I personally don't get in trouble. That's why, like, when I talk to Jen McGrath or Jerry Brick or whatever, and people have been asking me about the Skype thing, I've slacked. And as soon as I'm done here, I am going to go. Matter of fact, I am going to do it now. Because if not, I am going to forget. Because that's just what I do. I forget. My brain is just out there over the rainbow. And, I actually have to say, during this quarantine, stay-at-home baloney that I hate, I feel so bad for everybody in this house. Like last night, I was extra snappy. Here's my problem. Jessica has asthma and stuff, and it could affect her, and if she gets it, it could kill her. She has those underlying conditions. And, her life before meeting me was just staying home. She's used to this. I am not. We were kind of getting a little snappy at each other last night because she's like, people are stupid. They just need to stay home. And I'm like, dude, why do I got to stay home? Like, you can't even go in the stores. They've blocked off everything except for essential items. You can't go do a thing. You can't go shop for clothes. You can't go shop for a lot of stuff, toys, video games. You can't shop for nothing. They don't want you they only want you in there to get necessities. Medicine, paper towel, toilet paper, food. That's it. After that, get the hell out of the store. Which I even said to Jess last night. I said, isn't that kind of stupid? If you have to mark off some of your store, why even be open? They should just close that, like the Targets and the Walmart. Shut it down. Just keep essential places open. Pharmacies, groceries, and even that's still a risk. They should just shut it all down, and I would be going crazy. I don't even know if I can get my pool made because I don't know what the rules are. I feel putting a pool in is an essential necessity to keep me from having a mental breakdown, but that's just me. Like, as long as I can have my pool put in, I'm good. Yeah, they don't want you gathering because people are just going out. Because people are like, hey, me personally, I mean, if I go and get it, and if I give it to Jess, I potentially could kill her. I don't know. Or if I didn't kill her, she would be really, really sick and probably take it bad. And you know what I mean? Like, be on ventilators and stuff. And I mean, I don't want nothing to happen to her. I love the girl. I don't want her to be like, oh, So, I got to kind of pick and choose my battles. That's why, like, if I have to go to work, I go to work and I come back. Technically, we're not, my father claims we're essential, but we're not essential because all our customers, for the most part, are closed, except for the government stuff. And we're not going to travel to those government buildings because then we come back with quarantine. What if we have to go back out? They're going to be like, nope, you stay here, you stay home. So, it's not even worth reopening. Because our work's all over the country. And, Puerto Rico, Canada. So why am I we can't get into Canada. We can't get to Puerto Rico. And most of the United States is just shut down. So, let's ride it out. So it's kind of dumb. But I get it. It's like I have this demon within me that just wants to just go back to normal and we can't. So, before I started getting into Ace and coasters and stuff like crazy like I had. Before that, I was doing other things like music and stuff and traveling that way, but for the most part, I stayed home. I didn't go to parks a lot and stuff like that. So for me to try to stay home is really a pain in the ass. I know a lot of you guys are feeling the same way. Just trapped, and you can't do nothing about it. So that's why I try to do this show for you guys and myself to help me from going over the edge. So, let's get into some news. Here's something that should make some people happy. Disney parks scrap annual pass holder payments during coronavirus. So, let's see the news. So, Disney is making its most faithful followers satisfied by stopping briefly payments for annual pass owners and also reimbursing regular monthly payments during the coronavirus pandemic. Here's the offer. The House simply revealed it. And I'm getting this from the UnionJournal.com. That's not the Onion. It's the Union Journal. So where was I? It says, the great deal individual by remaining to bill pass owners at once when countless individuals are injuring for money. Disney uploaded an upgrade to the annual pass holder repayment plan Thursday using some much required economic alleviation in the dark time. The planned turn would certainly alleviate minds and also budgets and also look for the reverse, some really poor optics. Disney, likewise, state parks pass owners that currently paid completely for the annual pass can obtain a partial reimbursement through the amusement parks are shut. The brand new plan starts this Sunday when Disney states it will certainly stop automated payments and also forego all upcoming regular monthly payments while the parks continue to be shuttered. The reimbursements will put on regular monthly payments made in between March 14th and also April 4th. Once the parks resume, Disney states payments will be certainly returned to as arranged. So if you're paying monthly for a Disney pass, guess what? You can get a reimbursement and you don't have to pay until the parks reopen, which is great. People like me that paid in full for their pass, I didn't have a monthly option. I just get days added onto my pass. So that's good for me and other people. So if you got the pass like that, you're good. So let's see what else we got in the world of theme park news that I got laying around here. Let's see if there's any. I mean, Space Center in Houston's closed until further notice. Dutch Wonderland has announced it will no longer on May 2nd as planned due to the coronavirus. The park shut down of preseason preparations. It said it's too soon to decide a new date, but that they are committing to open the park as soon as safely possible. Disney shares are a buy if they fall to this level. Let's see what that said. It closed Thursday at 96.97. It's just getting too far overdone. Now I will think the overall market could see a retest of old lows. So it could see a little bit more weakness. Back down there. The $90 level. Disney shares last traded below $90 at the beginning of last week. People have remembered that if you wait around for these theme parks to go back to full scale up and running with everything, all the people coming back, the stocks will have already bounced. Always remember that the stocks always bounce long before the fundamentals go back to normal. If it gets down towards $90, investors would want to buy in. Take your time at it. Don't jump in with both feet, but if you're going to get some great prices here, one of two of these 3 years, you're going to look really, really good in the stock. So it's just a product environment. It's a product of the markets that are just to sell everything type of market. I do believe you could dip your toes into owning Disney now, and 12, 18, 24 months, it's definitely going to be higher. I mean, Disney is a stock, me personally, that I would like to get into, because I think if you get it now, you'll be okay. See, so Jason says, side note, Disney parks, they furlough executives and cast members for the time being, but they will continue to pay for health insurance, which I think is good. It is good because if you get sick, you're going to need something. I mean, I'm still battling with my insurance to get back on it. They canceled it. I've been dealing with. They screwed up, not me. So I'm still battling with that. What's up, Theme Park New England? So I got to get that handled when this is done. And then Grobble, what's up? People have to remember, if you're exposed to a virus, it needs a portal of entry, i.e. mucal membrane to infect you. Don't touch your nose, mouth, and eyes. If you're going to buy whatever your total position you want, only take about a third of it now. Yeah, see, I don't have any stock. I have 401ks and stuff like that. I don't have any stocks. I've always believed the stock market is one of those. It's like going to the casino. You could, get rich, or you could lose your ass, and that's not. I've always been afraid to go down. I mean, my dad has done well in stocks his whole life. He knows how to do it. And I remember when I used to work for a company called, that company no longer exists. They're now what is Wad Stopper. Back in 98, 99, and I was working in upstate New York in Schenectady at the GE plant because lighting controls was they got bought out. Wad Stopper bought out GE. So I was working for them, and my dad and a bunch of other people, and I used to watch the stock for GE back in the day during that time, and I became a master at the GE stock. I got so good at it that I knew when to buy and sell, and I made I don't know why I didn't buy into it, and I should have. I probably would have had a good good amount of money back in the day. I probably could be well off. I mean, I think my father's well. I mean, I don't ask. And I'm sure if I asked, he'd tell me. But my father dibbled and dabbled in stocks. He still does. Not, he doesn't have a huge exposure to it, but he's cashed some stock, he's bought some stock, so on and so forth. So I think he would be a good person to kind of talk to. Beside, if I can't get a hold of a professional, he's not a professional by any means, but he's dealt with stocks. My dad's 74. He's been dealing with stocks since his 20s, since he was in his 20s. So he's been doing this for like 50 years. He's not, he never worked for a firm or anything, but yeah. See, it's good if you've been in a stock. Hey, Mac the Knife from New York, what's going on? Hey, Ryan. The virus is going to soon disappear. I don't know. They're worried that it might be a seasonal virus. Nobody knows. We just take it as it is, man, because we don't have a clear indication of what's going on. I mean, I don't want to get it. So I don't, like I said, I can't predict when any park is going to open. I mean, I've tried. Honestly, I don't see it before July. Let's be honest. I mean, a best case, and here's why. I said this before. Just by listening to the governor of Rhode Island saying when they start to reopen the economy, whenever that is, places. I mean, Rhode Island doesn't have any theme parks. They don't have any parks whatsoever. I mean, we got a carousel. We got an old carousel from an old park that no longer exists, from Crescent Park, and it still has the rings, but it's busted right now. We don't have any parks. They're all gone. I mean, we got a zoo, but they don't really have any rides. But yeah, so she said the last things that are going to open in this state are places of large gatherings. I hate to assume to make an ass out of you and me, but I think that's going to be across the board. People are going to try their best, but people are going to be scared. I'm not saying us here. Disney opens, Universal opens, Six Flags, Cedar Fair Parks, Knoebels, Kennywood, Lake Compounds, everywhere opens, right? They open. I think the only people that are going are the diehards. Let's be honest. If you're a diehard and you don't really care, you're going to go. I don't think it's going to be 4th of July. I really don't. And here's why. As much as we would love to, imagine if everything opened, like parks and stuff open. That would be awesome if they could. 4th of July is a celebration of America, its founding, its meaning, its history, because of becoming independent from England, and you have your Independence Day. That's what that is. So imagine if you could strike on the 4th of July and reopen to celebrate America, to get it back. I don't see it, but it would be awesome if you could do that. I don't think the prices are going to go up. The parks are sweating bullets right now because they're like, oh crap. This is like 2020 is the lost year, period. If you don't have everything open and back up till July, August, September, something like that, you're in trouble. All of you are. You're going to take that hit. It's going to be good on the books when it comes tax time. Some parks are going to get, some funds from the federal government. The federal government's going to hop in and do something. It's going to cost the country a lot of money. I wouldn't be surprised by the end of this thing to see the national debt actually showing. I don't know what it is now. I don't want to know what it is now. But I wouldn't be surprised by the end of this seeing our debt at 40 trillion or more. Maybe not, maybe 30. But it's going to hit a high plateau. They're going to have no choice but to do it to prop us up. So, and Grobble says the thing I tell novices is look at the products that all your friends must have. Look at those companies' balance sheets, i.e., example, Apple, Netflix, Amazon, etc. Federal assistance is the last resort because the theme parks would have to suspend dividends. Yeah, and all right, so it's currently 23 trillion. It's going to go higher and higher because of this. But this is something, I mean, it could have been somewhat prevented, but who the hell knows? Because I keep saying this virus prove to the world that humans are disgusting. From those that don't take showers, don't wash their hands. I mean, before I did the show, I washed my face, I washed my hands. You know, I've been keep doing it. I feel like my skin is eventually going to fall off. You know, my skin's been cracking, drying, you know, skin's flaking up and stuff. Like, it's just becoming a mess. And I really just don't want to, you know, I'm taking these precautions because of Jessica. If I was single right now, I'd probably, I mean, I'm not saying I was a scumbag, but I wouldn't be washing as much. And I probably wouldn't be going out as much. I don't know. I don't know what would be I don't know. I really don't know what would happen. If you think about this, I'm not saying if everybody was taking showers regularly, washing their hands every 2 seconds, and, you know, would this have not happened? Probably not. Because there's people that don't have, you know, I don't know. But you just gotta roll with it. We don't know for sure what would happen. You know, we don't know. We just don't know. So I think that hopefully, and I was just watching this thing. I was watching on the way back home from work. I was listening to Phil DeFranco, and he was saying that Japan doesn't have a lot of cases, but they're worried about that it's gonna spike. Because then, you know, they're still allowing you to eat in restaurants. People aren't social distancing, and they're starting to see the numbers slowly go up. So what I do hope, and this is probably going to screw Disney and Universal and everybody. Say the United States eradicates it. Nobody's sick. It's gone. Right? Say by July, everything's open. The virus is gone. Nobody has it. Say they test the entire country. And nobody has the disease. It's gone. Right? You've tested. And now you have the potential of people going, oh, the United States is open. What's up, J Kite? You have the potential of people going, yeah, it's open, and want to fly from Japan and China and everywhere to come here. I think for the rest of the year and for a little while, the borders of the United States, until the rest of the world is eradicated, it need to be shut down. Period. If you open those borders to the rest of the world, it's coming back. Thunder Run. Is that... Are you talking... Thunder Run. Are you talking about Lightning Run? Whatever the hell it is. Whatever it is there. The Chance Hypercoaster. Max. I don't know if that's what you're talking about. Or you're talking about the Woody that became... Didn't they do an RMC thing to the... I can't remember. Yeah, I know Kentucky Kingdom, but I don't know what Thunder Run... I've only been there once, and that was during spring conference. Where is it? Attractions. You got Kentucky Flyer. Are you talking about Lightning Run? Lightning Run is the Chance Hypercoaster. When the hell did they get a Zamperella in Denver? Thunder Run, the Wood Coaster. Yeah, that ride doesn't have a lot of airtime. I mean, they retract the hell out of it. Matter of fact, when I was there, it was a cool coaster, but it sucks. I ain't gonna lie. There's not a lot of airtime on it that I remember from my one and only visit. Oh yeah. They had just retracted when they were reopening it. It needed some love, so it was like perfect. You know, it was all retracked, redone for when we went, because when we went, it had not opened to the public yet. There was a group outing, and then we had a stopover. For like 3 hours. So I made sure I rode all the coasters. I didn't ride any flats. Like when I was there, when I went to Spring Con, I there was no Kentucky Flyer. There was no, what is that, Storm Chaser or whatever the hell whatever they got there. Yeah. I rode Thunder Run. T3 wasn't open. I rode Roller Skate. I rode Lightning Run. And that was it. I tried riding other stuff, and people that I was with like, no, we gotta go riding. We gotta do these things. Da, 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 da. And then we went off to Kings Island from there. So, yeah, it's a pain in the neck. You know, I do gotta make a chance to go down there. It is. I think it is a copy of Hurler. Yeah, right. America right now hasn't even hit its peak. And depending upon who you listen to, the peak is probably coming at the end of April, end of May, somewhere. I don't know. You just have to pay attention. When you start seeing the downward trend, when you start seeing the downward trend go down, then you know you've hit your peak. And then you just got to wait for it to flatline completely out. Now, here's the problem. When you have social distancing and you're trying to flatten the curve, it doesn't mean that it's going to kill off the virus. It just means it's going to take a little longer for everybody to get it. I've always been a firm believer, and I know I'm an asshole when I say this. Just let it run its course. Let everybody get it who get it. I know this is the most morbid thing to say. Whoever gets it and dies, dies. I don't want people to die. I'm not like that such of a sick person. But anybody with an underlying condition, just give it to them, keep them in the hospital, and you can treat them quick. Just to get them. I mean, it doesn't always roll like that. It can take somebody out like that. You know what I mean? If my father gets it, he's dead. He's got OPCD, whatever, the breathing thing there. He's got diabetes. The dude's screwed. You know what I mean? Right now, he's healthy. I tell him, don't go to work. I'll handle everything. If I got a question, I'll call you. Stay the hell home. Stay home. They still go to store. They go. But then my father told me yesterday, because my parents are considered elderly, because my mother's over 65, my father's turning 75 this year, people are bringing them meals and stuff. So they're getting taken care of. And my mother turns to the person, my father told me, and says, oh, we go out and get our own food. But they're bringing them meals. I told my father, tell her to shut up and get the free meals and don't go out. You got 10 acres of land. Go walk around in the woods or something. Jeez. Yeah, that's what my father's got. COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. That's what he has. And he deals with it. He's getting a brand new, better CPAP machine too. You know, sleep with at night, and he'll be okay as long as he don't catch it. If he catches it, he's the goner. If he gets it, he's dead. My mother could, you know, yeah, I've heard that too, Jay, about the regular flu also gives you a positive test result for COVID-19. So you got to be careful of that. Also, Ryan, I don't know if the warmer weather is going to kill the virus. And Lightning Rod is a beast with airtime. You're not going to see a vaccine until next year. They say 12 to 18 months is when it's going to come. Also, I would not inject myself with that. I mean, I can't even take the flu shot because I'm allergic to shellfish. I know they have a different flu shot. I just don't bother because every time I took a flu shot, I got the flu and was like sick and throwing up, and it just didn't react well with me, so I just don't. I get allergies, and I think I'm starting to get that because if you can tell, I'm a little stuffy. I've been blowing my nose. I've been taking medicine just to kind of combat it, so I don't. I mean, who knows? Maybe I have corona right now. I'm not saying I do. I don't feel like I'm dying or anything. I don't know. I just stay away from everybody and hope for the best, I guess. I mean, I thought I had corona back, December, January. But it's conflicting reports saying that you might not have even had it even when I thought I did. But nobody knows. Nobody knows for sure when this thing really, really... I mean, majority of cases started popping off in December for China. But it probably was around November probably beginning of November or something. And if that's the case, then I really got it. And not that I went to China, but I went to IAPA, where people from all over the world go. China, Japan, everywhere. So it probably got spread around there, and who knows? The world is going to be different. Theme parks and everything when this thing pops back off, it could last the rest of the year. Probably, worldwide, probably the rest of the year. We don't need to focus on we need to know that the rest of the world is doing what they can to combat it on their end. We need to focus on this country, get us back to wherever, and then once we get this thing all taken care of, we can send supplies, send people to other countries that are hard hit and help them out. You know what I'm saying? So there's things that you can do. Don't get your hopes up on theme parks opening up anytime soonish, I guess. Because even if they decide, okay, we're going to open it, they might limit the amount of people in the park. Maybe you're going to have to reserve a spot, like trying to get parking to get in the park, period. And they should, if Six Flags was smart, they would try to figure out, I don't know if they get the money to do that, but do virtual queue like Disney. Because when Disney opens up, it's going to be virtual queue. They're not going to be having people sitting in line. They just can't. I saw that grovel. The first Chinese doctor was sounding the alarm in November. He died. China didn't want him talking. Conspiracy theory, they killed him, and not the virus as reported. I think they killed him too. I know it sounds like, this crazy conspiracy theory. I came up with another crazy conspiracy theory. I know it's far-fetched. Anybody can get it. Everybody's affected, right? The majority of people that are dying and getting really messed up from this are people with underlying conditions and people that are old, elderly people. Which for elderly people, it could be that they were elderly and did it, or it could be elderly underlying conditions. It could be people my age or younger or whatever that have underlying conditions and it gets them. So my conspiracy theory was, well, they're always crying about trying to take money out of Social Security. Why not kill off the elderly to make you know what I mean? So you don't have to keep paying off all this stuff. Then the other thing was, hey, what better way to help the health care system get rid of all the people with underlying conditions? I know it's far-fetched and sounds crazy, but that was something that kind of melted around in my head. Let's see. People need to start mentally preparing that there's possibility that this will affect Halloween events, as well as I would even go as far as Christmas. Two may be extreme, but it's true. No, you should mentally prepare that nothing opens this year. I've been saying to myself, best case, July, August for a park. If parks can open, they're going to try and recoup money and try to do whatever they can. But I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have the magical crystal ball to look into the future of when this thing gets eradicated and when we can go back to living life. I don't know how many of you watched the video I did about what happens to theme. We talked about it yesterday when I played Planet Coaster instead of doing a Grove show. We were still talking yesterday about, doing it. And I feel that, we're in unknown territory. Nobody knows anything. I got a funny feeling next year, I think across the board, unless this project's already paid for, you are not going to see a damn new attraction going to any parks next year. Minus the Disney Universal stuff. You're not going to see anything. This year's attractions may be for next year. Because if parks are not going to open until, say mid-August, they're not going to bother with the water park. They're just not. Why? I wouldn't. Maybe you would. I don't know. I would say Superman the Ride is better than El Toro. Six Flags New England's Superman. El Toro just keeps falling and falling further down my top 10, 20. It just keeps. The restraints. I know part of my El Toro problem is I'm fat in the way that I'm short and fat, so that's a two strikes against me, and it's my fault for loving food and eating like a fat thing. So the way that the restraint comes down and hits me is in my stomach, and then when they staple it, it's a horrible ride. People that are taller have a better ride experience. And there is nothing, unless I grew, I'll be in trouble. So when I there was a time for a few years that I had no issue. I wasn't as stapled. I rode it. I loved it. And then as time went on and I got fatter and fatter and yeah. It's just no. El Toro has airtime. El Toro has airtime. It's a crazy, intense ride, but it's a painful ride when you get stapled. I don't see the need to staple. The trains suck. They need new trains with different restraints. If they could figure that out to make it a little better, I think, if El Toro changed the trains and the restraints and it was comfortable for me, like, say, Superman. I know, like, a lot of people, like, tall people, bigger people than me, it's an unbearable ride on people on Superman. They prefer El Toro because it's more comfortable for them, so it's a swish-wash battle. If they could find a happy medium, like those new restraints they have on the Intamin trains, they could probably alleviate some problems. So if they could fix the restraint train problem, that thing would be like my number one wood all day. But it's not, because of being stapled, and it's crazy like that because it's got such an intense layout. There is airtime galore on it. It's a beast, but it's painful. You know what I mean? It's a popular coaster. It's a painful coaster. It's become painful. It's like when I go to riding of the Bull, I go ride it once or twice, deal with the pain, and I can't breathe. Hell, I've done the walk of shame on that thing once. I think the last time I went on it, and I went back and I rode it and I got on it, and they got it, and then I rode it, and I'm like, one time, done. Ooh, Sky Rush or Intimidator? I love them both. I would probably go Sky Rush. I know, unpopular opinion, because people get crushed on that, but that doesn't, that's not as painful as Intimidator. It's just not. And I'm okay with that. I don't really care for the restraints on I-305. I-305, even the soft restraints, is still painful. And you got a defensive ride. I don't like defensive riding. I personally love the intensity of Sky Rush. And that's what I mean, don't get me wrong, I love I-305. I'm not saying it's a piece of crap. I love it. It's just, I don't ride it as much because I get a headache from it. Again, I'm only 5'4", 5'5". So the way that I sit in the thing, my head's like a pinball, and you really have to pay attention to the curves and stuff, because if not, it's like bam, 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 and it's like, I wish there was a better restraint system for I-305. There obviously isn't, but I wish there was. The last time I rode Sky Rush was, I think, 2015. They had that pre-con event when CoasterCon was in Jersey. And I rode it. That was probably the last time I've been. No, that's a lie. 2017. Because we did our own little CoasterCon thing. We made our own CoasterCon. We did Busch Gardens. First we did Busch Gardens. Then we did King's Dominion. Then we did Knoebels, Hershey, back to Knoebels, and then we went home. So that's, so we did that. In 2018, I did con. I highly don't expect Costa Con this year to happen. I'm surprised they haven't already canceled it. Everybody's waiting, and I've been watching people cancel hotels. They're like, this thing ain't happening. Especially Dutch Wonderland, as I just said, they don't know when they're gonna reopen. So Costa Con is gonna have to cancel. So if you're looking forward to Costa Con, that particular con is gonna have to get rescheduled, probably for a couple of years, because I think they already have the next one, I believe, set to go. I don't know. Let me check real quick. So I have a question with ride ops. Why are the different rules per park, it seems? Great Adventure, they're scrambling their ops. Says bar has to be down, where SFNE and Great Escape, they don't need to be. It's weird. I think you should, especially if you're a chain, the rules should be the same across the board. But it also is a little bit different because of different state regulations. The Superman at America has somewhat of a resemblance of the old restraints. They have those metal pieces that go on the side. I don't know when they're going to update this to the current Superman the Ride restraints at New England. But then New England has a different set of restraints because of the T-bars are banned in Massachusetts. So you got to try. But I mean, rules like the Scrambler and stuff, it could be state rules. It could be just the parks just kind of free for all. I don't know. I would love to just see the same rules applied across the board, period. It would make things run smoother. It would make things more efficient if the rule was the same. Because you go to certain parks, and some parks have, it doesn't matter what chain or company, but some parks have awesome, what way I just said it, operations. The throughput's awesome, and then some it's just horrible, and it just depends. Yeah, Magic Mountain is almost open every day, as other Six Flags parks don't. Yeah, like I said, that's because they do 365 days open a year because of where they are. And like the Texas parks are doing, they're open all year round, but like the off season, it's weekends only, not during the week, unless there's like a spring break or some kind of special thing going on. Some kind of vacation, then it's open during the week. Up here in New England, we don't get we will never see open all year round in New England. You will never, ever see that. Don't ever, you will not, the climate doesn't warrant it. The climate will not allow it. I mean, this year was a freak year. If we didn't get coronavirus, they probably could have potentially opened early. Probably not, but they could have. And I think next year we're going to go back to winter. We barely got any snow. We were lucky if we got 20 inches of snow the whole summer. Winter. We probably got 10, 15 maybe around here in Rhode Island. We didn't get much. I think the most we ever got out of a storm was 4, 5, 6 inches. And we only had 2 or 3 storms this year, so we didn't really get much of anything. Yeah, New Jersey is one of the strictest, and Pennsylvania is one of the most laxed. I'm sure other states are pretty lax too, but the things that I've learned at coaster events and talking to park personnel and stuff like that, Pennsylvania, the parks do their own inspections. Instead of, like Jersey has one guy in the whole state inspecting rides. Then you got, Mass is kind of strict with certain stuff, especially after the Station nightclub fire that happened in Rhode Island, however many years ago that was. The fire safety laws went crazy in New England, especially in Massachusetts, because of that Station nightclub fire that happened. It's been a crazy ride just looking at all the different rules and regulations and safety precautions. I mean, we all want to be safe. I don't think any of us wants to get hurt or die on a ride. I just think some may be, overzealous. Some may be unneeded, unwarranted, but just to kind of save face and cover their butts. And because people are stupid. Look at all the stupid stuff that people do in theme parks. Everybody's trying to whip out their phone and be a YouTube star or a social media star or whatever they're trying to do. And they're making these videos on these rides and they're not supposed to. I always follow the rules. I do not film on a ride unless I'm allowed to. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be responsible if I have a camera out and it smacks somebody in the face and kills somebody or hurts somebody, or I don't want to be that guy. Yeah, I would love to film every ride and be on top of my YouTube game. I would love that. But one, I don't want to get banned. I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get sued. And some people just don't care. Some people are just like, F the world, I'm doing it anyway because I'm going to be cool and I'm a rebel. And trust me, I'm a rebel when it comes to a lot of stuff. I'm not an innocent. I'm not saying I'm an angel. I'm the furthest thing from an angel. Those that know me know I could care less about a lot of rules. I mean, like I said, I went as far as telling all the teachers to their computer screen that they should be fired. They're worthless. Swearing at them, telling them they're stupid and to cancel the school year. Because I just don't care. And I think what's going on now, Jeremy missed all of school yesterday. I woke up at 11. Jeremy woke up at 11 because I woke him up. He was like, oh shit, I forgot, sorry. Like, I ain't forcing it. I'm trying to prove a point to the school that it's a waste of time. My kids have told me they are learning absolutely nothing. They got 20-minute classes. They're learning nothing. They're really doing nothing. So it's like, why bother? Just pass the kids, call it a school year, and it's over. I will make a prediction that, at least in Rhode Island, the next time, I think they're doing social distancing till April 30th, I think now. I think if they go and say, the next time, if things aren't ready to open, I'm predicting they're just going to shut it down and just go, whatever, it's done. It's done. And yes, Grovel, I can see why New Jersey would want to keep an eye on the boardwalk parks, because a boardwalk park is almost like a carnival. In a sense. I mean, it's permanent rides, but it's kind of like a carnival atmosphere, and it's on a boardwalk, and if you don't pay attention, it could be disastrous, if you lax the rules a little bit, because they're going to do anything they can to get out of the regulations to save money. Max, I think he's talking to me. I think. Because John lives in Rhode Island, so John probably lives about 30 minutes away from me, probably. I mean, Rhode Island's not that big. It's not. All right, let me go back to over here. Let me see what we got going on. Dave and Buster's applies the brakes. Cedar Point and Battle Creek. It almost happened. The Corkscrew Water Rides, Merry-Go-Rounds, Kittyland, and Midway with the... We're all on their way to Battle Creek. Cedar Point had conditionally agreed to build a second park on a 760-acre at Fort Custer, slated to open Memorial Day in 1978. Officials believe that it would draw as many as 1.5 million visitors for the first year alone, but an 11th-hour decision in Sandusky will put an end to those plans. There's more of a story, but that's kind of weird to find out. I'm just looking to see. While you're at home, take a trip around Disneyland Park with Parks-inspired Disney Plus watch list. I haven't checked into Disney Plus in a few days. Yeah, it's getting Ocean Park and what is that, China? Envisions new levels of hygiene and animal care during closure to combat COVID-19. Coronaviruses get back to Tivoli to postpone the opening and extend the season. They were supposed to open on April 2nd, now pushing it to May 1st. Now, let me ask you guys, amusement parks to close for a day of mourning. Amusement parks in Shanghai will close on Saturday, the day of Kinming Festival, as China will hold a national day of mourning. I saw something about Stern, Pinball, and IFPA Italia support. Oh, it says Italian pinball players now have free access to a series of pinball machines in digital format thanks to Stern Pinball Arcade platform. It says pinball enthusiasts are a passionate bunch, but not all of them are lucky enough to have their own machines at home. Unlike many out-of-home games, they can be faithfully replicated digitally, and in these times of quarantine, the virtual versions can help with players' enforced abstinence. Well, I got 6 of them in the other room, so I mean, I've dropped down from 16 to 6. I've sold 10 machines. Theme Park New England says, I remember the day we had the Superman accident on May 1st, 2004. I was working at Six Flags New England at that time. Right after that, they took the T-bar out. The state got strict with safety. Sean, when you were working there at that time when that happened, what ride, when that day happened and you were working, what ride were you working on that day at that time when that happened? What do you think the next coaster manufacturer to go bankrupt? It's not going to be Vekoma. Vekoma is going to be Vekoma and S&S and stuff. They're working on more affordable, more family, some crazy stuff. Yes, the United States has not, with Grobble, Vekoma's been selling a lot of stuff, just not United States. I totally agree with that. Then if any coaster manufacturer is to go in the toilet, I think it's going to be Intamin. They might be on the verge of a resurgence because they're making a little bit more affordable coasters. I mean, Intamin sells stuff all over the place. Not as much as they used to. I mean, remember, Intamin used to be on top. Everybody and their mother wanted Intamin. Then everybody and their mother wanted a B&M. Max, you can never guarantee a company will be around forever. Look at Chance. Look at Hoos, whatever. Well, Chance isn't as big as they used to be. I mean, they're selling stuff, but you know, they're working through their emotions. They're in a better position than Hoos. But Hoos, whatever you want to call them, they used to be the top flat ride crazy manufacturer. And they've pretty much, at least the United States anyway, fell off the planet Earth. A lot of their rides that were in parks are getting ripped out because then, you know, some of the rides are no longer manufactured. They're not supported. So they're like, you know what? Get rid of the rides. Get them out of here. We don't need them anymore. See you later. You know, so I feel that any company, RMC could go bankrupt. Any company right now could go at any time. Not just because of coronavirus. Yes, you want to have, you know, product that is great and expand. You know what I mean? B&M is considered the Rolls Royce of roller coasters. Smooth, pretty much reliable, and but they're a lot of. They don't make a, not that I've seen anyway, like a cheap, like under $10 million model. They could, and I don't know about it. I'm not saying I'm all knowing. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm not one of those ignorant and jerky coaster enthusiast people. Yeah, see, China is going to be Intamin's. China is going to be everybody's saving grace. You probably won't see, John, you probably won't see a Buzzsaw remake. I don't. I know they make some, but the models they make aren't that thrilling. Buzzsaw was, an old ride. It packed a punch. I mean, I can remember coming flying out of my seat like woo and having a blast. I don't know of anybody who makes that anymore. Anything like that. I say this all the time. I wish that all these manufacturers, the flat rides that have the access to the plans, the blueprints and the licensing to make it, especially like Chance and stuff and other companies, go back, redesign for today's safety standards, and do something new. I mean, look at the Zamperla Endeavor. It's basically a remake of an Enterprise. That's what it is. And if you don't think so, you're fooling yourself. Go look at a Hus Enterprise and go look at a Zamperla Endeavor. Besides not having a swinging car, it's still the same ride. It does the same exact thing. It's just a new version of it. We need more of that. There are so many classics that could benefit for being reintroduced. Just updated. Maybe they could be more reliable. I don't know. I just know that if they could do that, sky's the limit. We could stop multiple clones. I know, like flats, when people are like, I'm tired of the clones. Right now, you don't have a choice because there's not that many out there. I mean, there's models out there. There's a lot of crazy models out in Europe that we will probably never see here that are still, they're made and supported. You just won't see that. Yeah, it's closer to a paratrooper, but it does exactly. See, I've never seen a paratrooper go total vertical. It's always got some kind of an angle. The Zamperla Endeavor is total up, Yeah, Buzzsaw was. I remember one time I rode Buzzsaw and it couldn't make it over the top at all, no matter what it did. We were sitting there for like 5 minutes trying to make it. It wouldn't go over, and they stopped it and brought us back in. I don't know. RMC right now is like king of the castle, for what they do. And Gravity Group is starting to do their thing. We'll see what happens in the future. I don't know what's going to happen in the future with it. Can do nothing but good things for the industry to have innovation. That's what we need. Innovation. We do not need lack of innovation. We need companies to build different types of coasters, come out with some different kind of things. We need people to innovate on the flat ride front, and we need to get new types of rides. Like I said, go back in the old catalog from back in the day, look at those blueprints, look at who made what, and just, bam, just make a new age model, and you'll be good. That's what I think anyway. That's what I think. I mean, we would do nothing but benefit from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to see innovation, new rides, that way the parks can dump the old broke down rides and get a new version in it. I mean, I know they still make teacups. They still make whips. They still make the flyers. They still make bumper cars. They still make a lot of stuff. I honestly would like to see log flumes come back. I'd like to see a lot of these, like these TriStars and stuff like that come back. Bayan's Curve. Yeah, it's tough. The molded seats are pretty much the same for like old times where people were skinnier. As a society of people, we're getting fatter, not skinnier. Just, we have, especially in the world, most modern day developed countries, not poor countries like Africa or wherever that people are, in starvation, and, we have more access to food than ever before. There's a lot of preservatives and junk, a lot of sugar, a lot of everything in our food, and it's making us fat. Yeah, I heard about that. The RMC looking, imagine if RMC does a suspended track thing. God. It would be crazy if they could pull off something cool like that. You just got to keep innovating and pushing. Because if RMC can come out with a suspended track layout, that's cheaper than a B&M, forget it. They're going to start taking B&M business. As long as they can do it and make money and make it cheaper than a B&M, forget it. People are gonna go with the cheaper chicken. They are. End of story. Yeah, B&Ms are just smooth. There's not many intents. They're suspended, like Banshee and Batman clones and all that. The inverted coasters. Those are the most intense models that B&M has. The flawless coasters, they're intense to a degree, but not like a Batman or a Banshee or any of them. Mach 2, they're not, That'd be cool to see a wooden invert. I'm sure it would hurt like a son of a bitch, but I think it would hurt. Because RMC is going to do steel. They're not going to do wood when it came to an invert. I would like to see Gravity Group, I would like to see wood coasters do some more innovation and try things that they do with steel to a degree with wood. I don't know how much they can do with it, but hey. Look at this upside down smiley face. That's so funny. That is funny. But yeah, that's just how it's just gonna be. We don't know. It's just innovation. And we all know Max is a super, B&M fan. He's a super fan. And like I said, by all means, that's cool. If you're a super fan of anything, that's what we do. We're super fans. But I'm telling you, B&M, I don't have a favorite manufacturer of anything. And like I said, I just like to just go ride. I think if everybody could change their mentality, I can't tell you what to do, but I think if people change their mentality about theme parks as a hobby, we would do better. Think about it. This is a hobby, and you got rude, ignorant coaster enthusiasts being know-it-alls, and then if you disagree with their opinion, then you're a piece of crap. That's why I have taken the stance that I'm a theme park enthusiast, not a coaster enthusiast. I like the whole aspect. I like the people watch. I like to ride coasters. I like to ride flats and carousels and water rides and water parks and shows and food and people watch and enjoy. I don't go chasing the dragon. If you are just crazy chasing a dragon, you got a problem. You may not be doing meth or coke or heroin or something. Hey, Gaming for Life 17, what's up? You chasing the coaster count is like being hooked on meth and crack and all that. You're missing out on a horizon of more to life than just roll. Yes, I want to ride every roller coaster I can. Well, technically there is a launched wooden coaster. You know what I'm saying? There is what do you call it? Lightning rod at Dollywood. That's a launched wood coaster. It's got top of track. It's not the steel I-beam. Exactly, Jason. You're missing the fun. See, like when I first joined Ace, it wasn't like that. Like like how it is now. So from 2000, so within a 10-year period, it went to crap. And what I mean by crap, I get it. People are passionate about what they love, right? Max is passionate about B&M. People are passionate about coaster clubs or rides or whatever they're passionate about. And I'm never going to knock somebody for that. But there's people that are calling it passion when you're just being a douche. There's a difference. It's okay to say, I love B&M, or I love RMC, or I only love roller coasters, or I only love wooden roller coasters. It's okay. It's okay to be passionate and love it. But you're missing the point. Because you get so-called passionate about it, you think you're the almighty, all-knowing God of information and all-knowing, and you come off as a jerk, ignorant, rude, and stupid. because you got to leave it. You got to leave the floor open to everybody's opinion, because everybody's opinion matters. You know what I mean? Who am I to tell Max you're an idiot because you like B&M? I mean, is he going overboard a little bit? Yeah. Hey, that's good gaming for life. I like when people sub and hit the bell. And I always appreciate that and check people's YouTube's out and do the same thing. You gotta spread the love. Gotta spread the love. But in any case, so my suggestion to those that try to be know-it-alls, tone it down. Tone it down. You don't gotta act like a jerk. It's okay to be passionate. It's okay to be like, I love this. There is nothing wrong with that. That is perfectly fine. I'm talking about the people that they get these egos, especially like big YouTube channels. They get these egos, and then things that I have witnessed at IAPA and other stuff from these big YouTubers that you guys all love and know act like assholes. What's up, Ben Marchin? You know what I'm saying? So just chill out. Enjoy life. This event, with, if you call it coronavirus, a COVID-19, whatever you call it, should be a wake-up call to each and every one of you. It's even a wake-up call to me. Life is too short. In a snap of a finger, you could catch this virus and die. Think about that. You could die. So instead of going, you're a jerk, you're a this, you're a that, enjoy the finer things in life. Enjoy the hobby. Have fun. Don't miss out on something because you're a gun-ho, coaster, credit whore, and whatever, and you just want... And that's okay to accumulate credits. I don't count them. I don't know where I'm at. Don't care where I'm at. Don't care. Because I was chasing that dragon, and I was missing some awesome park shows, some awesome flat rides, some awesome water rides. I've been missing out on things. So I said, whoa. Take a step back. And that's why I feel personally so much better that I did that. And hopefully you guys see that if you're doing this stuff, it's bad. I think it's bad mentally for a person. You know, it's like doing drugs. Apples to oranges. RMC is a good product, but has some things that could... I agree with you, Larry. I think all companies, all of them, B&M, Inman, Gravity Group, whoever, RMC, they all need to fix some stuff. And Grovel, speaking of the Vekoma stuff, remember when Vekoma was starting to show off the new coasters with the launches and stuff that people were like drooling all over? And when I seen it, I found all the links and I sent it to Jen McGrath at New England. And I said to Jen, I'm like, you guys need to look into this. I don't know what the cost of these coasters are. I said, but watch these videos. And then we were talking back and forth for like 30 minutes or so. And I know that she's going to look into them. She's like, I can't guarantee we're going to get any of this. We got to figure out where we can put it, if we can get it. But it intrigued her enough that she's like, I'm going to send this. She was giving it to Pete Carmichael, the park president. She was going to send it off to corporate. And I said, and I told her exactly where to put it. And she's like, where? And I said, get rid of Goliath, get rid of Flashback. I've said this a million times in the show. Put the station at Flashback, make it launch over to Goliath area, make it do its thing around that area. You have to redo the area around to make it all flow and fit. And I said, if you do that, I said, you'll have another top-tiered coaster, providing it doesn't have a lot of breakdowns and it's not a piece of junk, and it's a comfortable experience and it's good. I said, you'll have another hit on your hands. So I know that she talked to Pete Carmichael about it, and I know she was going to be talking to corporate about it. I don't know if that's something that's going to come down the road. It may never happen, but she was intrigued enough that we had like an hour conversation back and forth in emails about those new Vekoma coasters. I'm like, they could be cheap, they could be expensive. I don't know what the price tag is. I said, that's for you guys to find out. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know, but you know, I'm always finding, and Jen loves it when I find these things that's not on her radar because that's not what she does, and I send them to her, and then she gives them to the powers that be in the park. I say, hey, check these out, see if they're expensive, they're in our budget range. Max, and I'll get to yours in a second, John. Do you think steel coasters or wooden coasters give more airtime? It depends. It depends on how it was designed, because I've ridden a bunch of steel coasters that didn't have a lot of airtime, and I've ridden, and wood coasters had more, and then vice versa. So it all depends on how they design this coaster to be. Did they develop this and engineer it for airtime, or just kind of, well, you can't even say a female, because look at like Wooden Warrior, look at Rorosaurus. I don't know about, what is that, Kentucky whatever Flyer. I don't know how Kentucky Flyer is with the airtime, but I know based off of True Family Wood Coasters has a bunch of airtime. I mean, Wooden Warrior's got a couple little blips of it, and same thing with Rorosaurus. There's small coasters, family coasters. What do you call it? Oscar's Wacky Tasky has a little bit of airtime, not a ton, but it has some, and so it all depends. It just depends on what you're looking for in a. That's kind of a weird question, but to John, let me see what he put. He goes, New England, do you feel that the water park will get a new entrance? I don't think it's going to get a new entrance. I think that's going to be the entrance forever, and I'm going to tell you this why. Theme parks as a business have things set up a certain way. So, if you remember, the old entrance was over by Kontiki in the Rockville Theater. And then all of a sudden it gets moved over by where Batman is. I don't know the reason, but here's my theory on that. And I've said this for years on the Grove Show. Years. I've been saying this since 2012 in my mind of thinking. You want people to walk by the rides, the games, the food. And if you take out a huge area, you're going to miss out on opportunity for dollars. That is strictly, I feel that it's strictly done as a business standpoint, that you have to walk by all those restaurants, all those games. I mean, there's not many games over there, but there's a bunch of restaurants. There is, all the rides. And if you have people that are not going in that area is not going to have a lot of foot traffic. People aren't going to be spending money, et cetera, et cetera. Do I see the basketball game being moved or taken out? Yes. Every time that I've ever been to Six Flags New England in the last 5 years, I have never seen anybody play that game the times I've been by it. Walking by to go to the water park or go to Batman or Crime Wave or whatever, the Joker, I have never. I mean, in the past, yeah. But in the last 5 years, I haven't seen anybody play it. So it could be people are playing at different times. People are not playing. I don't know. I hate the basketball games. Twisted Timbers. Oh, yeah, King's Dominion. One of my favorite moments on that ride on Twisted Timbers at... Oh, wait, no. Twisted Timbers... No, that's King's Dominion, I believe. If that's the one I think it is like you're going around and it looks like you're going back to the station and it just cuts quick to the right. It's like, boom, and then just like another turnaround and you're doing that. I'm like, whoa, like that was like insane. Now Mystic Timbers at Kings Island. I haven't ridden yet. I haven't been out there. Yeah, King. Yeah, okay. What was he saying? Yeah, Larry says original Cyclone at New England was a mighty sick airtime in the back. Yeah, it was. And Rorosaurus with their Timberline trains pack a good punch too. Yeah, they do. They're an amazing rides. That's RMC. Yeah. Yeah, I liked it at King's Dominion. I wrote it like 2 or 3 times during CoasterCon. I can't remember the exact. I know I wrote it like right off the bat, and then I think I went back and wrote it 1 or 2 more times. I don't remember. Yeah, I just remember the marketing campaign. What's in the shed? And I kept saying, yeah, go look and see if my weed whacker or my lawn. I used to make the joke. I said, that's what's in the shed. Give me back my weed whacker. I used to make stupid comments like that. I was trying to be funny and stupid and game for life. You said, oh, enjoy your content. Big fan. Also, I hate Corona. I just saw a video that wasn't supposed to be on Facebook. Hopefully they took it down because this guy had Corona and decided to take his life by falling off a high building. Yeah, this thing is, Corona's crazy. And like I always say, if somebody's feeling, I want to make this known. I want to keep pushing this factor to each and every one of you. If you're feeling down, you're feeling depressed, maybe you want to jump off a building, contact me before you do that. I'll try and talk you off the ledge. There's no, I get it, times are tough. People are sick. Things are going on. Life is a precious thing. My messages, my text messages, I mean, if you really need to call me, you can call me, but I prefer messaging. I hate talking on the phone. I do that I was always doing that all the time before work, stop because of all this. So I'm just like, I'd rather talk a message. But if you really need to talk on the phone because you're really thinking about it, call me. I'll stop you from doing it. I can give you the reasons why not to do it. This is tough. Even it's tough for me. I know we're all going stir crazy. We're all going nuts. That's why we do this show, more than just once a week. Playing Planet Coaster. I'm going to start up with Roller Coaster Tycoon 2. I bought No Limits 2, and I have no clue how to play the game, like how to build a coaster. Not a clue. I got to watch some how-to videos or tutorials on how to do it. Because Marcus and I were like on it the other night. I had it and we shared screen on Skype. And so we played with the operating controls. I learned how to operate Hydra at Dorney, which was kind of cool. Yes, Jason, every day above ground is a blessing because we don't know. I mean, right now, my nose is stuffy. I can have Corona right now and not even know it without getting a test. And my nose is itchy and I don't want to pick my nose. But I'm going to use my shirt. And then as soon as I'm done with the show, I'm taking a shower. Yeah, you see me pick my nose on a shirt. I had to. It was itchy and it was bothering me. Sorry, guys. I know it's disgusting, but I feel better. Hey, maybe I got it. And maybe this is what I get, a stuffy nose and a cough. Or maybe it's my allergies because it's the time of the year. Yeah, I gotta watch that video about the Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 server thing. I could not. Me and Marcus tried getting any server going for like over an hour. We tried. We could not get it to work. On the open server, we could not get anything to show up, work. I don't know how. So I'm gonna check out the Lindsay, have you gotten it to work itself or no? So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. All I ask people is, we're all like on edge. I know you guys are. I know I am. If all of us are used to going out all the time and then all of a sudden you're like, you have to stay home. You cannot go out. You cannot do anything. That takes, you know what I mean? You feel like your rights are slipping away as a human, especially in this country. And I know it's for the greater good, but we're all fighting it and we don't want to do it. We're going to have to, because if not, we're in trouble. Oh, yeah, John says, I do miss Old Cyclone. I do miss Old Cyclone. It was a good ride. The basketball game depends on the time of day. Do you see any more rides going in Gotham? And when does anyone see Blizzard River going? Bye-bye. I say Blizzard River goes within the next 5 years. And when they do, either a coaster's going in there or maybe like Aquaman that's going in over Texas. That might be, depending upon how successful that is. If it's successful in over Texas, they might start whirling it around to other parks. I could see that being something that replaces Blizzard River. Even though Blizzard River is fine, But I've noticed even on busy days, the line's only 30 minutes. I remember when that ride was 2-3 hours long. So, who knows? I don't know, like when I get out of here, I'll take more medicine, take a shower, chill out, and whatever. And hopefully this, because like the last few weeks, I felt like getting stuffy, and I would take some Dayquil, it was gone. And then like a week later, it would show up, take some Dayquil, and it would be gone. So I'll take some more Dayquil, and then probably it'll go away. Hopefully. I mean, everybody knows I smoke, so that could be my downfall to killing me in Corona. I don't know. But I mean, I was really, really, really sick December, January. Like, I was really sick. Badly. Badly sick. Like, I really thought I was dying back then. If you remember, I was canceling Grove shows, and even when I did the Grove show, I could barely talk. It hurt. And I was sick, sleeping. I probably had like bronchitis. I probably had it already. I don't know. I really don't know. Who knows? I'm just saying I could have had it. Might not have had it. Could have been bronchitis. I don't know. I'm just trying to make sure that I don't get all messed up now and I don't feel like dying. I don't want to croak. So who the hell knows? But I will tell you, even if I got the corona, if I got the rona, I'm still doing this. I gotta do it. I'll rest and do it and whatever, but it is what it is. Oh yeah, I did have a fever. I was burning up. But I got it I got it all under control. I was taking crazy amounts of medicine to get rid of it. Like I was like legit sick for like 2 to 4 days. I can't remember exactly. Like I was legit like bad, and I just kept pounding. Well, actually, you're gonna laugh. I'm gonna tell you my combination of drugs, medicines that help me. Number one, I was taking Dayquil, NyQuil. I was taking allergy pills. I was taking everything I could to clear everything up, and marijuana. I was eating it, not smoking it. I was buying gummies and chocolates and stuff, and all the mixture of, I don't know what was whatever it did that killed it, it killed it. And I was okay with it, you know what I mean? Like, it's great, and, so that's, I may have already had it, and I bet you if they give me that test about the antibody one that's coming out, it's probably, I would say, 80% chance showing that I have antibodies for it, because I probably already had it. Now, is it possible you could get it again? Of course. It could mutate and go, I'm trying to kill this bastard, and I'm trying to get it. Oh, Magnum at CP is better than White Lightning, but White Lightning is awesome. You can't even compare. That's come on, Max. Come on, that's ridiculous. Magnum is obviously better in all the sense. Yeah, that's that. You can't. You'd have to say, like, if you want to compare what's better, say Magnum versus Steel Force. That's a good comparison. See, I got a love-hate thing with, like, those rapid rides. Like, I like riding them, but I hate getting soaked. And I always get soaked. I absolutely hate it. I think it sucks. And I don't like getting soaked like that, even on a hot day. I'd rather go in the water park, go chill in the wave pool and hang out. You know what I mean? Like, I'd rather do that. I could tell you, if I won the Powerball and I go buy a plot of land for myself, I'm putting in, like, the size of Six Flags New England's wave pool, and I'm putting a wave pool. And have it run every so often. Yeah, Magnum is it's an old ride. It's got it's abusive, and eventually that ride's going to come down. Eventually, it's going to hit its life cycle, and it's going to go. And then they'll just put in something new over there. Or put in a smaller coaster and then use some of the other land for other stuff. You know, Cedar Point is landlocked. They can't, they got spots to put stuff, but they also got to start taking things out to put newer, bigger things, or whatever they're going to do. So I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's cry. It's like, I remember when the first time I ever went to Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, Virginia, and I went on their Rapids ride, and we went on it twice, because the first time we rode it, surprisingly, I didn't get wet. Like, I didn't hit any of the thing. I'm like, oh, screw it. I'm like, if I'm not going to get wet, and they let us, because it was right when it opened, so they let us go again. Should have never did that. Because I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Rapids ride at Busch Gardens. It's over by Tempesto. In the Italy section. I think that's... No. Yeah, Italy. Or Rome or whatever. Italy. In any case, they got a wall. It's just going straight through, and they got this wall with waterfalls. It's got like 4 or 5 waterfalls in a row. Well, this thing, I think, spinning around. I'm missing all the water. And all of a sudden, the boat turns. My side stops at the waterfalls. It doesn't spin. It just goes. I hit every waterfall. And I'm just like, why can't I catch a break? Why can't I catch a break? Yeah, I remember when Blizzard River had that accident. And they had to make changes to it to make it safer. I mean, parks are ripping out the Rapids rides. It's valuable land. They do get... The only times that they get a lot of ridership is when it's really hot. When it's not really hot, you don't get that much ridership. People still ride it, but it's not as popular as other rides. Like a log flume would always have riders all the time, regardless of how hot. So, they're going to come out with new inventive ways to have water rides. So I think like having something like the Mach Super Splash could be the way to go. For the future, they could still consider it a roller coaster, so to speak, and you get a water ride out of it. It's a 1-2 punch, and people will ride it. People will like it. People will ride it. People love it. It is what it is. But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for watching. I will be back Monday at 1 p.m., and we will, unless otherwise noted, but we should be back at 1 p.m. on Monday. I'm not going to... I may go live over the weekend to do Planet Coaster. Yeah, I didn't get to ride it because the person I was with was like a big baby bitch and didn't want to ride it. And I wasn't going to go by myself. So they didn't want to do it. So that's why I can't wait to go back without said person. Well, that's cool. Crazy Anthony in Mexico actually opened before the park closed. But like I said, I'm going to get out of here. I will be back Monday, 1 o'clock. We will do it. Remember, Tuesday's Grove Show will be at 7 o'clock. Every Tuesday will be at 7 o'clock. And some Grove shows may be Planet Coaster instead of actual Grove Show. But still doing the same thing, talking while I'm building roller coasters just to kind of change it up a little bit. Because I know some people like that. Some people don't. But we'll see. We'll play Planet Coaster, Roller Coaster Tycoon, something. But, be safe. Wash your hands 6 foot apart. Just remember 1 o'clock Monday. Look out this week. Make sure you hit the notification bell because you don't know when I'm going to go live. And we'll see what happens. I will see you guys soon. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep on coasting, y'all. Peace.